All right. Two of the four of us are live. Emily's coming. Tim, I don't know, straightening his hair or something. It's incredibly echoey here. Can you hear how echoey it is? It's crazy. I brought out a blanket and I was like, oh, that'll fix it. And it somehow made it worse. I wonder if I talk like that, is that better or worse? So how is it still echoing? It's still echoing even when I do that. Okay, while we're waiting for the other two, btwb.com/all-in-one. They are sponsoring the show. They make it possible. I'd probably do it anyway, but it makes it a lot more worthwhile for me, the fact that they've sponsored it. You can go to that link and you can transfer your affiliate stuff over. So you could do it with your gym, Mads, if you want. You transfer all your stuff over and they white glove it so that you don't need to ask members to change anything or add, like put in your details again. There's nothing cumbersome about it. They just do everything for you. So you can just say, hey guys, here's the new link, click this, and then they go there. There's Emily. Hello, Emily. And another thing I wanted to show you guys. Now I might have to change to this. And then this, and then this. Oh, there's so many buttons to click. Is this? There's new t-shirts. I can't play the sound because it's going to ping my. It'll ruin my. This will be just tanked because there's a song on it. But yeah, as you will find out today, good stuff is something that I apparently say loads. So we've brought out t-shirts. To mirror that. So we've got like coffee pods and walls in the front, and then good stuff on the back. And they've got like tie-dye purple, tie-dye yellow, black, blue, and there's Timothy. You wear t-shirts, Tim. What good timing. Yeah, so if you guys go to vindicate.com and you click on a partner apparel up here at the top, you've got like Savan, Hiller, ignore all those though, and go down to my one. And then when you click in, it brings you to the t-shirt. You click in and then you order like 6 or 7 of each size of each color each. And then that's just great for me. All right. So thanks for doing this.
What's Savan have to do to get at the top of the list there? What, you can't get bumped further up that list?
It's something to do with penis size. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention when they talked about that. the smaller, the lower you are on the list or something.
I thought it was just being PC.
No. All right. So Emily Rolfe, hot off her punching her ticket to the CrossFit Games. Congratulations. Well done. Mads, CrossFit Dansk, as people might know you by on Instagram, a regular commentator at the European regionals especially. And Tim Paulson, proven coach, proven team member last year, individual competitor multiple years, and frequent guest on Death By as well. So you should be amazing at this. Okay, so how this works, if anybody hasn't watched it before, so you if you're watching it for the first time, you need to open a second tab and order a t-shirt, but while this is playing, and then when this is on, we've got 60 seconds per topic. We'll start. Emily's closest to me, so she's going to go first, then Mads, then Tim, then we come back down the line and everybody gets 20 seconds. If you go over your 60 seconds timer, which will be here in the top corner, you are muted. Yeah, best of luck, Emily. You're muted. And we move on to the next person. There's points given out for good stuff. There's points given out for specificity. There's points given out for picking a side. Points will be withheld for fence sitters. For like, oh well, it depends. And we'll have to see what happens. And oh well, it's not all bad. Like those people just won't get points. All right, I saw a comment here before we started. What a diverse group of individuals. Yeah, it's funny because I've been asking Emily to do this for about like 4 months, and the consistent response has been no. And then I messaged her this week saying, hey, I know you're not going to be training on Wednesday, so you don't have a reason not to do it. And she said, I don't want to do it, but fine, I know you're going to keep asking, so I'll just do it and get it out of the way.
Get you off my back.
Yeah, I didn't tell you at the time that if you win, you have to do it again because you go through to the semi-final. But we'll worry about that later on. I have a feeling that's not going to be an issue. She also said like, okay, yeah, you've worn me down. I was like, yeah, it's also how I met my wife. Was just it's like basically like coastal erosion, just like constant erosion. Okay, so our topics. Our first topic. West Coast Classic was on at the weekend. North America West semi-final. Emily, you were there. There was quite low attendance in the stands, and it was quite visible especially when you were watching on the live stream. It was just a sparse crowd that was there. So my question for you guys is, what is behind the low semi-final attendance, and how can we fix it for 2025 and future years as well? Emily, you're first. You got 60 seconds. Are you able to see the clock?
No, I can't see it, but that's okay.
I'll tell you when you got like 10 seconds left then.
I don't think I'm going to talk for
Cool. Love the attitude. All right, Emily, you've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, so I didn't see the live stream. I didn't watch any of it. I was there though. I was doing my own thing. I didn't really worry about the crowd. The crowd, to be fair, the crowd on like the lifting event and stuff, they came through. So like there wasn't a lot of them, but they did okay. But obviously compared to Europe, it was nothing. I think they sold out, and we like no comparison at all. I don't know, Memorial Day weekend, it was a holiday weekend. I think Americans that are going to go watch CrossFit, they're going to go to the games. If you're going to watch semis or the games, you're going to go to the games, and we have the games in America. So I think that's the main reason. Either that or Europe and High Rocks are taking over.
Wow. And is there a fix? You got 10 seconds.
No.
Okay, fuck it, they're just screwed. All right, Mads, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Well, I mean, I think this is just a result of killing off a marketing department altogether. You haven't had anybody building up towards this, highlighting great athletes and great stories for a while. So, I mean, there's nothing to kind of get fired up about. And then you got Memorial Day weekend at the same time, where traveling is going to be more expensive, hotels going to be more expensive. And I think it's just time to realize that, you know, the CrossFit honeymoon in the States is over. And you need to kind of bring out your A game. You can't just rely on a community being fired up to meet each other and doing high fives and chest bumps anymore.
You've got another like 25 seconds.
Yeah, but I'm done.
Do you guys fucking know how this show works? All right, Tim, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
All right. I would put it up to a couple things. I think they were relying really heavily on the nostalgia factor in Carson to kind of like drive it. I honestly just don't think that California is that much of a destination for people in the middle of the summer. Like, if you ask me if I wanted to go to Los Angeles over Memorial Day weekend, there are probably 1,000 other places I would rather go. And I love CrossFit. Like, I love the sport of CrossFit. So I think it was just like not the best location combined with the best date. And I think these guys are also right. Just like, we're spoiled for choice in America. So I think they need to be a lot more diligent, do a lot more research as to where they're going to host these semifinals to try to bring it to areas that might be a little bit underserved the rest of the season, maybe somewhere a little more central in the West region, so that it's not California again. Like, California's gotten so much CrossFit for so many years now. Maybe the Californians are getting burnt out on it. Maybe they got other problems to worry about in California. I mean, maybe, but yeah, that's my 2 cents.
All right, Emily, if you want them, you've got 20 seconds. So this is your opportunity to build on your own point that you made in like 15 seconds, or to criticize somebody else's point, or to build upon somebody else's point. You got 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I'm going to build on Tim. The nostalgia thing, like, that was really pumped up. And honestly, there's like 2 athletes that remember competing in Carson. Like, and I'm one of the older athletes. I wasn't even, so like, it's nostalgia for the coach. I mean, Justin Kotler was psyched, but like.
And you're out of time, so you're muted. All right, Mads, you're up. You got 20 seconds. Off you go.
No, I absolutely agree. I think it's sad that we can't be more innovative on how to bring the sport forward. That we're starting to talk about nostalgia, and we're a pretty young sport. Shouldn't be happening yet.
Tim, 20 seconds. Off you go.
I'd like to think it's the media department's fault, or the lack thereof, but then you look at like Europe and Australia, and their crowd still turned out. And I mean, they had the same amount of media from HQ that everybody else did. Maybe they've got more local people providing content, storylines for athletes, things like that. But
right, I gotta say, as the first round goes, that was absolutely fucking shocking. Nobody answered the fucking question. Like nobody gave a reason how to fix it. Nobody said like, oh, here's what we could do next year. Everybody just said like, yeah, maybe like Memorial Day weekend or whatever, I guess. Maybe that's why or whatever. Let's just fucking like.
Well, you're assuming there's going to be one next year. I think we're kind of moving into the territory of the next question, which isn't obvious. So.
Yeah, I don't know. From listening to Castro's week in review, Emily's like, "What question?" No, he means like a different question.
Questions, and do you have notes? Because it looks like you're looking at notes.
Who, Mads?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's prepared.
Yeah.
He still said "fuck all" in that first question, but he has notes.
I did.
His notes just say "be vague" and say what Tim says. That's the first one.
We alluded to some answers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a natural speaker, so I'm looking at like difficult English words and what they mean.
I think feel free to answer it in Danish. I think that part of having watched Castro's week in review yesterday or whatever day it was, I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same system next year, but instead of having 2 semifinals in America, in North America, there's like 5 with less spots each. And there's 1, like 2 either side of Canada, 2 either side of America, and maybe 1 in the middle. And they go back to like regionals instead of like pre-2018 regionals. Because he was saying himself, oh, like if you have family and friends, they're not going to go all the way down to California from fucking Ontario or whatever. And if you have a more local one, it's easier to get them to go. And maybe that's like, but I don't know. Dave probably doesn't really have control over that either if there's, shareholders and shit. Okay.
Don was in Oslo for a CrossFit tour, and he basically said that they're looking to sell the company. So anything that isn't making a revenue right now, they're going to be trying to cut. Because somebody was asking the question straight up, is like, are you trying to sell us? Is that what's going on? Are you trying to make? And he's like, yes, we are. And so if we're not making any money, then I think we should probably not expect these things to come back. So yeah.
God, do I just abandon the whole debate and talk about that one topic now, or what?
I don't know, but hey,
was that recorded? Was anybody recording that, or was that just people talking?
I don't know. It was Q&A in Oslo when he was there with the team, and somebody's like, "Well, what's going on? Are you trying to sell us? Is that what it is? Are we getting ready? Is that what we're getting ready for?" He's like, "Yes, they are looking to sell us."
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not.
They've been trying to sell us for years, so I mean, not sure anybody's surprised.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm shocked. I'm not surprised. No, I'm not shocked that that's what's happening. I'm shocked that he outright said, "Yes, that's what we're doing." Like that surprised me a bit because I thought there might be more subversive than that. Okay, right. Second topic. Mads, you're up first on this one. Then it's going to be Tim. Then it's going to be Emily. What we're looking at this time is the good, the bad, and the ugly of North America West. So you can look at Emily's looking at this like it's the first time she's seen this fucking question, even though I emailed it to her yesterday. So you can look at this as athlete performances is kind of what I was talking about, but whatever way you want to take it. Who particularly impressed you? Who surprised you? Who was, like disappointing? Or, I mean, if you want to just like bail out of talking about an athlete and be a pussy and talk about attendance or something instead of an athlete performance, you can do that too, I guess. All right, Mads, you're up first. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Well, the good thing is, hey, Danny Spiegel's full depth squat. I mean, wow, that showed up. That was good to me. I thought that was cool. Made me bounce up and down all over here in Scandinavia. Bad. Well, I was going to say attendance, but hey, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say instead, I really, really, really wanted Colton to qualify. He didn't do that. I love somebody who goes out there and talks some smack and puts it on the line and gets after it. He didn't do that, and I thought that was sad. And the ugly was that it was not a good event. I mean, for nostalgia and all that, there was a lot of media there and some media equipment was stolen. And it's like, if you want to do this and you can't even run a tight ship and then you have external media getting their stuff stolen at the events, you're probably not looking at making people come back again. So fire your own media department and then make sure that invited media, they lose their stuff. I don't think that's the way to success. So that was the ugly part for me.
Good stuff. I said good stuff. Go and buy a t-shirt. Every time I say it, you have to buy a t-shirt. All right, Tim, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
All right. I took your question as shine, struggled, and shocked. I like the follow up to your question of good, bad, the ugly. So the athlete that shined for me was honestly James Sprague. I mean, I think he just showed a lot of development, showed that he's become much more well rounded, did great in some of the heavier events, the lifting events. So just like I was really pleased. I thought he showed a lot of progress year over year. Struggled. I mean, I guess Pat Vellner, as much like I kind of expected him to win. And I think it was really just that one event, like the snatch event just kind of looked like it got away from him. A couple missed lifts and just didn't seem like he could kind of get it over the finish line there. And like I said, I was just surprised. I was expecting some redemption from him on that one just based off of tearing his bicep in that event back in 2016. And then shocked me, honestly, the two female qualifiers. Domi, not necessarily that she qualified, but that she won. I thought that was, again, massive improvement year over year. And then Kanyo, the rookie, definitely, I think, just shocked me. Like, I was not expecting her to finish fourth in a very top-heavy stacked female field.
All right, Emily, you got 60 seconds. Off you go.
All right. The good was me, obviously. I focused on for that weekend, so and then I have to say, banking on Tim, like Pat, my boy, yeah, the stuff he went through to compete decently, no one will ever know. So he'll be fine for the games. Don't you worry. He'll be good. But low-key, I'm glad I beat him in the snatch ladder. And ugly, I wouldn't say ugly. I just I think like Matt. Is it Matt?
Mads.
Sorry. Yeah,
I
Matt.
answered everything, literally.
Like said, like Colton was sad. Like the people who just missed, who are on the bubble and are just out, that's always super sad. You know, you see them in drug tests.
And you're muted out of time. You shouldn't have wasted so much time trying to get his fucking name right. All right. Mads, you got 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I just wish I was as smart as everybody else on this panel because it's always sad when people don't make it. And the ones in the bubble, it is heartbreaking because they put down just as much time as everybody else. So she didn't have the names and wasn't smart enough. So kudos to you.
All right, Tim, you got 20 seconds. Off you go.
Yeah, the Colt. I piggyback on the Colton and the Olivia thing. I mean, just some really stellar performances. The Colton especially just showed so much progress year over year, like getting better at the things that he struggled at last year. So to see him miss out because he got a couple no reps on the muscle ups and ended up kind of hitting a wall in that last event was like he did some.
And you're out of time. Emily, you got 20 seconds. Off you go. Doesn't give a fuck.
I have nothing else. Yeah, it sucks, man. You see them in drug testing, everyone's like either really happy or crying, and it's like it could have been any one of us. So
cool. All right. Emily is crushing this. If she doesn't win, we riot. What fucking debate are you watching? All right, I'll do up your scores. Let's see. Okay.
are you
All right. Am I
Pedro?
what?
It's just your opinion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, if you want to give out some points, you start your own debate show. My opinion on my points aren't as dubious as some of the other shows. Tim, have you ever won Death by or no?
Yeah, four times, 5 times, something like that.
Wow, okay. I thought it was just Chase won it every time he was on, and then that was it. That was kind of how that show worked. All right, Tim, you're on 3. You probably would have gotten more, but you avoided the ugly question and just went for. You actually picked good moments for the ugly part of the question. Mads 2.5, Emily 2. Just I'm feeling generous, I guess. All right. Our last question. Oh yeah, look, here we go. There's Chase. You've won about a third of as many as Chase has won.
When you give Chase a microphone with no timer on it, he's probably going to win.
Yeah, he got through on this with the timer as well, actually, to be fair to him. So
many strings on that man's guitar, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a good talker. All right, our last topic of the week. So we had Janikowski missed out in Europe. We had Olivia missed out last weekend. Colton missed out last weekend. These are all names that have become household names and become names that you'd say, oh yeah, they're going. So my question for you is, with North America East, Knoxville Syndicate Crown kicking off this weekend, who's most at risk of these familiar names that we've become accustomed to competing in what was Madison and what will be Texas? Who is most at risk at missing out? We've got 60 seconds. Tim, you're up first on this one. I can already hear Emily in my head saying, I'm not picking an athlete that's going to miss out. That's not fair because I'm an athlete. All right, tough shit though. Right, Tim, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
All right, so 2 athletes I'd pick. Haley Adams, I think, is probably going to be on the outside looking in. I don't know, honestly. This programming is pretty power biased, I would say. Like a lot of the events, they're heavier, they're shorter. Other than your first running event, like they're definitely on the shorter side. And that's just been a historical kind of, I guess, weakness for her. So if I had to pick an athlete who might kind of miss out just based off of how strong the field is, she would be the one. And on the same, on kind of like similar thought lines, like Spencer on the men's side, I think Saxon can handle the barbells, handle the power output stuff a little bit more, but Spencer kind of stands out to me as maybe being on the outside looking in when the weekend's over. Like I said, just due to the nature of the programming this year and the what seems to be the repetitive sticking points for athletes in each event.
Good stuff. All right, go buy a t-shirt. Emily, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to name any athletes. This is my cohort. But Tim, I don't agree with you. I think you're very wrong. Guess we'll find out. But
about Haley or about Spencer or about both?
More Haley, just because I know the girls more. I don't really know the guys, so I can't really say much. But yeah, I think the workouts are very fitnessy, and I think she'll be okay. But yeah, looking at that leaderboard, there's a good probably 15 people who can make it. So there's going to be people that are not going to that you think will.
Yeah, just to help Emily in her last 20 seconds here. Where is it? Did you see Haley's last post? She's jacked. She is like jacked. But maybe it's just because she always wears oversized t-shirts, so you never realize it. And she's always been like that. But she looked particularly ripped this week. All right. Thanks for that, Emily. All right, Mads, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
On the female side, I've got Haley just because she's been gone for a while, and for the same reasons as have been pointed out already. So I would like to see her make it, but I'm not sure if she will. I think she kind of needs to knock the dust off, get after it, and then Will. I'm not sure, but I mean it's one of these things where you can just go a little bit downhill and suddenly you have to fight uphill for the rest of it. I hope I'm wrong. God, I love that guy as well. So Haley and Will are my 2 bubbles.
Will Morad.
Yeah.
Well, he's going for the double too. He's going for masters, like age group and okay, Tim, you got 20 seconds. I should have just set the timer at fucking 15 seconds with this whole show, like nobody's talking. Tim, you got 20 seconds. Off you go.
I would follow up on Haley. Like, again, I don't think it's necessarily a lack of ability in Haley, just the depth of the field and the strengths of the other athletes. Like, just looking at the rest of the female field, I would just be surprised if she was able to overcome some of those other females with these events on there. Yeah, that would be my only follow-up to the Haley question.
All right, Emily, 20 seconds. Off you go.
Yeah, I see your point, and I think taking a year off and coming back is probably really hard. Get back into it, so we'll see. But Will, yeah, I really hope not. You're right. He's doing the double, so hopefully he can pull it through.
Didn't he have like a fucking stupid comeback? Was it like 2 years ago or 2 years ago? Didn't he keep Sprague out or something? It was like 90 points or fucking crazy. And there's a shit ton of points on the last day too. All right, Mads, you got 20 seconds to finish it off. Off you go.
I think the athletes are actually not going to be the problem or not going to be the interesting thing. The interesting thing is whether people are going to show up, because if they don't, we're going to be out of semifinals for next year.
Wow. Well, with optimism like that, I mean,
athletes are never the problem.
What else do we need?
Athletes are freaking awesome. They always go out there and put everything on the line. But if we won't have a semi next year, then, so go support now. Go team.
All right. Do up some scores, which I'm just arbitrarily making up off the top of my head. Emily, you'd be glad to know. All right. Today's winner is Tim Paulson on 4.5. Tim, if you want to get through the semi-final, I suggest you fucking up your game substantially. Mads 3.5.
Through the semifinals.
Mads 3.5. Emily 2 points. Honestly, like both of them were kind of pity points. They were just kind of like, I need to give her something. I actually didn't give you anything in the last round because you just refused to answer the question.
You got points for the last one?
Yeah, you got 0. You didn't say it. You just said like, "Oh no, that's not fair." Like that was basically what you said. The two names that came up. Although it's not Spencer, you were like, "Yeah, fuck Spencer, he's out." But like, no, not Will or Haley. Come on, guys. Like, I don't care about Spencer though. All right, Tim, you've got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm glad this is you and not Emily because I feel like if Emily had 30 seconds, she'd be like, "Wait, what? I didn't read the end of the email. What 30 seconds?" Right, Tim, you got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want. Off you go.
I want to talk about Tia about to just come out and absolutely steamroll everybody at MAC this weekend. It's going to be just like I've kind of heard the buzz around some of her training times. I mean, she is beyond fired up to make a statement based off of just kind of how the initial phases of the season have gone, right around some nicks and injuries and things like that. So, I mean, it's going to be terrifying and very exciting to watch Tia this weekend. So I'm going to give her all my props.
Yeah. I mean, if she does turn up to MAC, nobody will come close to her because everybody else is going to be at Syndicate Crown. And
That's fair.
Yeah, no, it is. It'll be good to see her coming back though, in fairness. All right, just one last time. I'll just show this again. Look, if anybody wants to, you can just go to vindicate.com and that would be just great. All right. Emily, thanks. Although it may not seem like it, I do really appreciate you coming on. You're a good sport. Mads, thanks very much. Always good to see you. Tim, congrats. We'll see you in 3 weeks time for the semi-final that I feel like you didn't really know about, but there you are. Okay, next week's guests, don't actually know who they are yet. I only messaged these guys like 2 days ago, so that's just the situation we're in. That's what happens when you have a new baby. You're just kind of like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to do a debate every Wednesday. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Emily, safe travels home. Congratulations on punching your ticket. Mads, thank you. Hopefully see you or hear you in my ears or on the screen over the rest of the game season. Tim, best of luck this weekend to you and all the Proven crew. Goodbye. Good luck.